Hello everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Dimir Flash deck that's gained a lot of power since Teferi left the meta. I'm sure you're tired of seeing this on YouTube, but it's great and I'm had great footage of it, so here we are. I'm not going to talk too much right now. There have been tons of videos made. There's a deck list in the description, and I'll kind of cover the cards in the outro. So we're just going to jump right in. Okay, we're on the draw. I mean, we've run the risk of not hitting our third land ever. We're against control, but if we can get out the Cutthroat, we go Enforcer, Cutthroat, maybe into Borrower. I mean, even the Nightbonder is fine, and we have a way to remove a single creature. Wait, what are we against? Is this Esper? This is Esper, right? Where it's just a whole bunch of control. Sure, what do we lose? We lose the Cutthroat, probably? Maybe the Heartless Act? What did we get rid of? Nice, ECD. They have to take the Cutthroat. It'd be stupid. Okay, that is literally the least important card to us. So we go Cutthroat, following turn is Enforcer, Sailor. Oh, we just pitched the Sailor. Let's do that. Maybe that was the wrong call. He does draw his cards, he does swing in. Heartless Act does get rid of the Fenlurker, so I don't have to deal with that again though. Land. Excellent. I mean, we want to do it on their turn, but we want to get in, right? If we don't do damage, if we're not doing damage, we're gonna lose eventually. They outvalue us. We gotta get in. Even though it means we lose the counter. Sure, opponent can draw their 3 cards, now they'll hit their land. I think that turns it on, right? Okay, now we're getting in for damage. Very well could be a board wipe. We just toss down the Brazen Borrower, if that's the case. I really underestimated this card when it came out. Like, I thought it was interesting. But yeah, you get 2 of them out early. It's a lot of damage. And even though the mill likely doesn't have a negative effect on the opponent's deck, unless they specifically stacked cards, it's tilting, you know? Oh, that feels bad. We're gonna leave it up to make them think we have something. Maybe they waste another board wipe just on the Borrower. Wait, do we win? Alright, we'll take it. Alright, so we have access to every color. Duh, I guess there's only 2, but you'd be surprised how often that doesn't happen. Temple comes down first. We don't get to Thieves Guild Enforcer. We don't do anything turn 2 currently anyway. I think we go Swamp and then the Temple. That gives us the option to remove a small creature or just get a tiny clock out. apologize. People in my neighborhood like to drive their bikes very fast. I assume that was a motorcycle. Because, you know, how will you know? Never mind. We want to stay YouTube appropriate. Okay, I'm not sure what deck this is. It seems like janky builds tend to run Mage Mind Tome to help them put their combo together. The only deck I'm used to see running that is that mono black Underworld Dreams, Veto, Peer into the Abyss nonsense. I think we're gonna eat the... No, we don't need to, do we? We have the 2 black sources. I thought I might need the Watery Graves untapped, but I don't think we do for anything. No real reason to. Okay, I think I've seen something similar to this before, but I cannot recall. Well, we don't turn on the Enforcer for a long time. We could Gadwick for 1. Kind of a dumb play. Or not. I think we send this back. Just to slow opponent down. We also get in. The lower we take opponent's life total, the more likely they are to make a misplay by feeling pressured. Sure. Would love to kill that. We might have to sack our Thieves Guild Enforcer into it to get rid of it. He might feel brave enough to block. If he doesn't, we can flash in the Borrower, get a card. Or we can put out Gadwick, actually, because then we'll be able to flash Borrower in later. So let's see if we can take out the Weaponsmith. Yeah, there certainly isn't really a reason not to, is there? Does this deck run counter magic? Nope. This is going swimmingly so far. We're gonna hold the Gadwick back, since we can flash in the Borrower. And if we wait one more turn, we'll get an extra card off him. What is opponent thinking about? They're thinking about how they're going to lose and they probably just want AFK. Don't really want to throw Gadwick and the Borrower out now, since it seems like Blast Zone for 3 would be the ideal choice for opponent. But I'm just hoping to find something. And I guess even if opponent wipes the board, we probably draw into enough creatures with Gadwick that it's fine. That's not enough, is it? 5, we need 8. Yeah. So do I hold the Gadwick? Let's see if he pops the Blast Zone. If he does, we'll flash in Whisper Agent. Smart. No need to commit. And maybe we try to flash her in after he wipes the board, because it looks like he's going to put a charge counter on Blast Zone, and then... Yep. That'll be next turn. Probably. If not, and it makes it to our turn and Blast Zone is still open, we attack, he pops it. During our second main phase, we drop Gadwick. That still doesn't close it out, but it puts us in a really good position. Debating. Okay, just do it now. Sure. So we lose out on the card from the Slither Wisp, but that's fine. We're gonna turn on the Enforcer now. I think, did I count right? Yep. I guess if it enters the battlefield. I mean, why wouldn't I? That seems silly, but okay. Yes, please. And I think we just hold up enough mana to counter something with Drown in the Loch. So we have 7 available. We just Gadwick for 2. I mean, there's essentially nothing that will prevent us from winning this game at this point. I think we just say no, right? I mean, maybe it gets countered. Do we want to just see what happens and then bounce it or flash in the Cutthroat? I guess no, we go for the counter. They won't be able to play whatever it is they draw if they had a Quench, and that's game. Okay. I mean, we don't get the Cutthroat out, and we risk not playing it for a long time, but we cast everything else. And we have a blocker. And actually, if this is against control, it's pretty aggressive. I don't know if I've risked putting out the Paragon, though. Nice, we hope we get rid of... Well, the board sweeper's nice. And I think we throw down a Paragon even if we don't see another creature come out. I think we lose the Cutthroat here. No, a Paragon. Alright, well, we're still gonna flash it in. Try to get aggressive up in her. And that is rough. Still no blue land. We knew it was a risk. Opponent's gonna flex on us with all their land. Oh, the 2 colors I want. What a flex. Can we hit anything good? Casualties of War, that's fine by me. And we'll keep that so we can get our 1 island. Still years away from casting Gadwick. but he thought Nice. Okay. We have a good hand, is what we have. So we will keep... I mean, Drowning the Lock is a little weak currently, but... Oh... Where were you last turn? That would have turned it on. We get our Cutthroat out, probably. We're in the mirror. So let's see, do we get it out? I think we... Do we want the counter, or do we want to get rid of that? I guess we can't get rid of it, can we? We can bounce it? Does opponent want to lose theirs? Maybe I shouldn't have attacked. We'll find out, won't we? We'll get another one out. Maybe. Probably holding up Brazen Borrower, right? So let's Thieves Guild Enforcer. We'll set up our Drowning the Lock. Brineborn, Cutthroat gets sent back to our hand, so we don't get to attack with it. Not a massive deal. Okay, it just dies. But it looks like we are in a better position. We have fewer cards, obviously, but opponent is land screwed. Do we just put out the Borrower? I think we do. We just keep up the pressure. Might get destroyed here. Don't know what that was. Lily on a Standard Bearer? I mean, we counter anything that might destroy our creatures. No. We can do it again on their turn. The only problem is we're almost out of any kind of meaningful interaction. So we've put on a massive clock, but opponent can still come back, especially since we drew that land. Perhaps a little too aggressive on my part. Hate to see it. Okay, I'm okay with that. We hit much better cards than opponent hit on us. Maybe I should have just attacked with everything. There's no real point in holding up blockers. We want opponent to attack. I guess, yeah, we should have attacked. We would have gotten in for 6. This would have been game if I attacked last turn. Shame on me. They're going to play around whatever I have in hand. They think it's something. but they're gonna have to take a risk. That'll do it. Do we just trade out? Sure. We're gonna let them think we still have something. But it's not looking good. We need a Gadwick here. And he needs to not have... Drowning the Luck. 1, 2, 3. Please, oh please. Please, oh please. Let my big boy stick. If this gets countered, it's probably game. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank RN Jesus. And just like that, we have a commanding position again. Do we try to bounce it? Or we Slither Wisp, it gets countered. We tap it. I think we try. Try to get in for 3. Do we get in for 3? Oh, that's too bad, because then we get the cards, don't we? And opponent is almost going to die to Slither Wisp damage this turn. Sure. This is going to be a dumb fight, what's about to happen. Let's see what they attack with. We don't want to bounce it, we want it tapped. Let's Enforcer. Nice, another Gadwick. We could try to bounce Slither Wisp. I think we attempt. It'll just get recast. But it has to get recast, otherwise opponent dies. This is a silly game. Nothing we could have done about that. We have Gadwick. We can bounce the octopus, I guess, and just get in. Yeah, let's not even mess around. I'm not gonna go flashy. Let's just get this thing out of here and get the kill. GG. That was weird. And we're back. This deck does work right now. I was on about a 12-game losing streak. I think there was like 1 win in there. And since then, I've actually climbed up 2 tiers with almost 0 resistance. This deck is fantastic. We'll just talk about the cards that I found to be, you know, the MVPs. Slither Wisp, more than the Cutthroat. I feel like Slither Wisp just, it refills your hand. You slowly tick down opponent. It seems negligible at first, like, oh, I'm only down to 14. But if you can flash in 2 more 3-power creatures, that might be game that turn, the following turn, depending on what you have on board. Spectral Sailor, great at blocking little flyers. Again, just like the Slither Wisp, can ping every turn for 1, essentially. And if you get it late game, you get to fill your hand up. Fantastic. Thieves Guild Enforcer does work. Love her. Um, if opponent just scried and put something on top, you know, out of luck. You get to get rid of it. If you have multiple on board, the triggers stack with the Brazen Borrower and the Whisper Agent, so you end up milling opponent for quite a few cards. A 3/2 Death Touch is nothing to scoff at. It takes out creatures that would otherwise be an issue for us. Same thing with Blacklands Paragon. Fantastic. Just a powerhouse. You get him out on turn 2, swing for 3 every turn. That adds up really fast. Later in the game, you toss him down, take out a massive creature your opponent has. Great value. Brazen Borrower, we already mentioned. Turns on the Thieves Guild Enforcer, activates Slither Wisp, gets rid of permanents. Like, this card is an MVP. You see it in every deck for a reason. Every blue deck, basically. The Whisper Agent ended up being pretty nice. Surveilling helps you get rid of lands late game. Activates the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Activates Slither Wisp. Great card. CGB's right. This is basically useless, other than the activation of Slither Wisp and Gadwick. I'm glad I ended up taking out Disfigure. I like Drown of the Lock better, and Tyrant Scorn. I just feel like they're more versatile, and anything after like turn 2, maybe 3 max, these become much more valuable than Disfigure. And I'm only running 2 Gadwick because I've found him every game that I needed him, and there are some games where I just had too many. I had 3 in hand at one point, and just, not necessary. The land base, the only thing I'm iffy about still is the temples, but I understand we need to make sure that our mana's fixed. And scrying a card is more valuable than gaining a life. So we're going to keep the temples in rather than going with the gain lands. I hope you found this entertaining. I appreciate it. Find me on Twitch. Have a great day. Really appreciate you stopping by. If you found any of this entertaining or informative, really appreciate you finding me on Twitch. Hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm really new at this. And any constructive criticism you may have, I'd appreciate it in the comments. Thank you again for stopping by. Hope to see you again.